Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining Megaport Live. This is a global weekly webinar that we are running on most Friday. So basically, it's just an informal tech chat and sharing as well. So I'm the host for today's session. So we do have a topic today, and for today's session, I'll be sharing about multi-cloud routing with MCR. Followed by that, I'll be doing some simple demo, and I'll leave the last part for Q&A. So here's a little bit about me. So I'm Serena To. I'm the pre-sale solution architect at Megaport, and I'm based in Singapore. So below is my email address and my LinkedIn. You can connect to me at my LinkedIn. If you have any requirements or questions that you want to reach out, you can look for me at my below email address as well. So I have my colleague here on the line with me. So he'll be supporting me on questions that you might have if you drop a question on the chat box, in the LinkedIn or in the Zoom. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. Okay, so who is Megaport and what are we doing? So Megaport is a network as a service provider. So Megaport operates a global network infrastructure and we manage the network through our SDN. So by connecting to our network, you will be able to connect to hundreds of global services that we are already interconnected to. Okay, so we have like pods at 850 data center around the world, as shown in the diagram, and we are also well connected to around 300 data center, which most clouds are already on-ramp at. So we have three main access products over here, which is our pod, our MCR, and our MVE. So pod is basically high-speed Ethernet interface that connects to our Megaport network. Okay, so followed by MCR is a Megaport cloud router, which I'll be sharing more on the next slide. We also have this Megaport Virtual Edge, which we offer you the compute and connectivity for you to host your router, firewall, and your SD-WAN on a network. So therefore, one platform, so we enable you to connect to our global ecosystem. So multi-cloud routing with MCR. So what is MCR? So MCR is Megaport Cloud Router. So it's basically a managed virtual router services that establish layer 3 connectivities on our SDN network. Because since it's virtual, there isn't any need to own any hardware. So you don't have to invest in any hardware. So there's also nothing for you to install, manage, or maintain the hardware itself. So it definitely saves a lot of time, cost, and resources when you're trying to deploy an MCR, because it can be easily deployed within minutes from our system itself. So MCR is a standalone services. You don't have to have a physical presence in a data center in order to use it. So MCR also help in your multi-cloud strategy, communications, because the traffic can be just routed between different cloud environment as shown in the diagram itself. Yeah. So you're able to connect to all the 350 clouds on ramps that's already connected to us. Okay, so each MCR itself, you can connect up to 25 virtual cross connect, okay, to any endpoints on our network, okay? That includes also connecting on-premise network through the ports in the data center if you have. So what are the common like deployment scenarios of using multi-cloud, okay? More often we see customers like deploying database in one cloud and then workload in another cloud as well. They're also looking at like workload distributions. So they distribute resources to different clouds to scale without network delays, okay? And also for, they might be deploying like testing workload in one cloud and then productions workload in another cloud, okay? So very lastly, we often see that they're using for cloud to cloud migrations, for meaning that they are moving large data transfer from one cloud to another cloud. So therefore, you can actually leverage on our multi-cloud router for such scenario. So with MCR, okay, there's definitely lower egress fee cost using such a private connectivities compared to connecting the CSP via the internet, okay? It also improves your latency, because you manage cloud-to-cloud communications within the MCR itself without having the need to route the traffic back to the data center. So in short, MCR provide high performance, low cost cloud-to-cloud communications. Okay, so that's the end of my slide. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to demo to spin up a multi-cloud router in our portal to show you. And what I'll do is that I will spin up a multi-cloud router and then connect it to AWS via Direct Connect. And I'm also going to connect to Google via Partner Interconnect. So you can see that how fast is to spin up MCR within our portal itself. Okay. So let me head over to the demo. Okay, so before I move on to the actual demo, I would like to also show you about this very interesting website if you are not sure. So it's a Megaport enable locations, okay? So basically, from here, you can find Megaport point of presence around the world, okay? So you can filter that based on countries that you're interested in. So for today, for example, because I'm based in Singapore, so I'm interested to know about where's the data center in Singapore that you can connect to us. Okay. So if you flip through the list, it will give you approximately around 18 data center that we have in Singapore, okay? But today I'm going to do a deployment of my MCR. So I would like to check, which data center have the compute for me to run my MCR. So it will list down all the data center that you can connect to us, on our MCR, okay? Yeah, so I might be like connecting to Global Switch, for example, okay? So let me head over to my portal. Okay, just let me log into my portal. Okay, so this will be our portal view. So once you log into our portal, you will be greeted with this landing page, yeah? So it shows a Megaport point of presence around the globe, around the world. Yeah. So this is a very interactive, globe. Okay, you can even, expand the globe. Okay, and then check on certain places whereby you want to connect to us. So for example, I can just click on here, and then I can see that within Singapore, there's an entity Singapore that supports creation of the port, and then over here is SGX, okay, whereby you can actually spin up MCR directly at SGX through this field itself, okay? So the portal itself also give you a bird's eye view of all the services that you have with us, okay? Because this is my our demo testing account. You can see that we have like a lot of ports and MCR, MVE, MVXC running in the background as well. So if you do not like to use this view to do your deployment, we have this service tab for you to run through the deployment. Yeah. So over here, I'm going to create a multi-cloud router for today's topic. Yeah. So you just click on the create multi-cloud router. And then likewise, you choose the locations that you want to spin up the instance. Okay, so I'm going to spin up an instance in Singapore, and I'm going to choose Singapore. So these are all the data center that showing that you can connect to us. I'm going to choose Global Switch, and we have diversity zone. You can leave it to auto for us to assign. Otherwise, if you prefer to be in red or blue, you can choose it. Okay. So the throughput for the MCR come with 4 various throughput, range from 1 gig to 2.5, 5 gig, and 10 gig. For the purpose of demonstrations, I'll be just spinning up a 1 gig bandwidth. So I'll put a name for my MCR. Okay, I'll just put a live tag. Okay. And then I'll have a minimum term attached to it as well. Okay, so our MCR come with 4 different contract terms. So if you're looking at no minimum term, you can just click on no minimum term. And of course, you realize that if you have a longer contract period, you will enjoy more cost saving. Yeah. For the purpose of demo, I'll just choose no minimum term. This is also especially good for customers who are looking at short terms for like maybe short-term projects whereby they need to migrate cloud to cloud, and then without having to tie to a longer contract period. So our MCR will come provisioned with Megaport ASN of 133937. But if you do wish to use your own private ASN, okay, you can override the setting over here. Otherwise, most of the customer will leave it as default. Okay, the BGP default state, okay, which you can toggle around to tell you that once the service is up, do you want the BGP to be enabled or it's like shut down? So I'll just leave it to default and I'll click next. Okay, so we look at a summary. So we managed, to configure our MCR at global switch at a rate diversity zone with this MCR ASN. So if everything is okay, you just click on MCR. So what happened next is that remember to cut out your order over here. Okay, just look through that everything is correct, including the amounts, and before you place the order. Okay, this will approximately take around like 3 to 5 minutes for the MCR to be up. Okay, so while we are waiting it to be up, okay, the next step that what we want to do is that we are going to build a connections to AWS and Google. Okay, so just to elaborate that, if you look at the icon gray, means that it's still in deployment state. Okay, so it will turn it into a green, okay, like this when the service is out. Okay, so let's get on to create connections. Yep. Okay, beside connecting to the cloud service provider, you are able to also establish a private VXC to your own port, assuming you actually have a port in the data center. If you have multiple MCR MVE as well, you're also able to connect to the MCR or MVE. You could also attach, Megaport Internet, to your MCR. And likewise, you could also connect to our Megaport marketplace to any partner ports that you're interested to work with them. Okay. Lastly, service key is used to exchange for customers that you wanted to connect to, or for people connecting to you, you can pass them a service key. Yeah. But for today's demo, I'll be just showing on how to get connected to AWS. So these are lists of provider that cloud provider that we work with that you can get connected to us. So for today, I'll choose AWS. Okay. So there's two different AWS connection type, okay, for you to choose hosted VIF and hosted connections, yeah. So hosted VIF can be used to connect to public or private VIF, to AWS. So what are the key features is that AWS port fee is included with Megaport connections. You are able to change the speed of the VXC once you provision. So for example, you provision a 1 gig VXC to AWS via the hosted VIF. And on demand, if let's say you decided, to up or down the bandwidth, you are able to do that using a hosted VIF itself. Okay. So for hosted connections, mainly for customers who are looking at connecting to transit gateway, because that's the only method that is supported by AWS through hosted connections. So the key features is that the AWS port fee will be billed through AWS, and you will have dedicated bandwidth, okay, by using hosted connection. Okay. The other thing is that if you are looking at speed change after you actually provision the VXC, unfortunately, it's not able to done so within the hosted connection. Okay, you need to rebuild the whole VXC if you choose hosted connection in this case. Okay, so for today's demo, I'll be just going to show you how to connect via hosted VIF. Okay, so these are the list of countries that you choose that where you want to connect to AWS. Okay, so for today's context, I'm going to choose Singapore, but if let's say you want to, connect to Japan, at Tokyo, you are able to do that. Okay, Hong Kong. Okay, so for today, I'll just choose Singapore. And then I'm going to connect it to global switch as well. Okay, so I'll just hit next. Yep. So what you need to do is that you need to have a name for your connection. So I'm just putting a name live AWS. Just put, yeah. So you need to define the rate limit, which is the bandwidth that you want to connect. So I'm going to choose 50 meg for my connections to AWS. Okay, so if you realize that all our services are all monthly recurring charges. Okay, so there's a contract tied to it. So there's no minimum term as well for customers are not looking at. I'm doing short terms. Okay, you can choose a no minimum term. Okay, but more saving if let's say you choose a 36 month instead. Yeah. So I'll just press next. Okay. Okay, so when you're going to provision an AWS services, you need to have your AWS account ready. So let me head over to my AWS console. Okay, if you look over on the right top corner, okay, this will be the account ID. Okay, that you need to have in order to build the connections. Okay, so I'll copy that and then I will just paste it over here. Okay. So you also need to key in your ASN, Amazon ASN, which is my direct connect gateway ASN. Okay. You could leave the BGP authentication key blank, or if not, then you can just key in the password. Okay. For the customer IP address and Amazon IP address, you could leave it blank as well. So I'll leave it blank so that later on you'll see that how AWS will assign the IP addresses for you. Yeah. So take a look at the summary, okay, that you have just built. Okay, so it's a 50 meg. Okay, on no minimum term. As you see here, the configurations will be generated automatically. So even for the BGP will be enabled once the service go live. Yeah. So yeah, that's the authentication key, the ASN. Okay. If everything seems good to you, then you just add the VXC over here. Yeah. So remember to cut out the order as well. Let me place the order. And then I'll say order now. Okay, so again, this will take approximately a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, for it to get into the AWS console. So what's next is that you need to go to the AWS console to accept the interface that you have actually initiated from Porter. Okay. So just let me head over here just to show you. Yeah, so once you go to your console, you look at the virtual interface. Okay, so my virtual interface has not come up yet. It should be coming up in a few more minutes. Okay, so meanwhile we are waiting. Let's head over to the portal as well. Okay, right now I'm going to build connections to GCP via partner interconnect. Okay, so let's head over to connections. And then let's go to cloud. I'm going to choose Google right now. Okay, so as you see that there's a partner parent key for you to insert. Okay, so where can I find the key? You need to head over to your GCP console to get the parent key. Start for the demo, I already pre-prepared the key. Okay, so let me just go to my console. Okay, so this will be the parent key in the Google console. I'll just copy the parent key over here. And then I will just key in over here. Okay. So right now Google is trying to validate the service key. Okay. Because when I set up the partner interconnect, I choose the Southeast Asia region. Okay. So these are all the available Google port that you can connect to. So I'm going to connect to probably a global switch here. And then I'm going to choose next. Likewise, you'll be the same. You need to attach your name. I'm going to call it live GCP. Okay, you also need to choose the rate limit, okay, the connections to the GCP. I'm going to choose 50 meg, no minimum term, and then I'm going to press next, and then next again. Okay, so you can take a look at the cloud detail, the parent key, the connection type Google. Okay, as you see here, the connection configuration will also be generated automatically for you once the service has been deployed. Okay, so you just go ahead to add the VXC. Okay, so let me hit the order right now. Okay, so just make sure that these are the pricing is okay, and then just hit the order. Yeah, as you can see, we have managed to deploy MCR and two connections to the cloud service provider on the fly. Okay, so let's wait for a few minutes, for the services to be up, for the BGP to be formed as well. Okay. So as you can see, the MCR is in green to show you that the service is up. Okay. If you look over here, you can see that our AWS connection, the services has been deployed, but the IP address, the BGP status has not been established yet, okay? Because you need to accept the VIF inside the AWS console, which I'm going to do so, okay? And then for the Google Cloud, it's still in deployment, okay? Just let me head over to my AWS console, okay? So once you are at the console, okay, this is my connection, the connection that I initiate, okay, live AWS Arena. So just let me go to the VIF itself, okay. So, okay, as you can see on the page, okay, this is the MCR ASN 133.937, the authentication that you key in from a portal, and AWS has assigned the router IP as well as the AWS IP for you, okay? So what you need to do over this page is just to accept the connections, and then I'm going to associate it with my direct connect gateway over here. And then I'll just do the accept VIF. Okay. So I've successfully, accepted the VIF. Okay. So the next step is to wait for the BGP session to be established. Yeah. Okay. So as you see now, it's still down. Okay. So let me head over to my portal right now. Okay. So what you can do is that you click on the MCR itself. Okay. You're able to see the details of the MCR, okay, the status, and whether is it live, the information about the ASN, okay, even for the log as well, and the usage as well, yeah. So let me close it. Let me go back to my AWS. Okay. So take a look at the AN, okay? So the IP address that's assigned by AWS has been auto-populated into the portal, okay? So you there isn't any need for you to, configure the interface as well. All has been populated into the portal for you, which include the local IP and the peering IP of the AWS, which is the ASN as well as the local ASN, yeah. So MCR support, static route, AS prepend, BFT, okay, as well. So let's go to AWS, okay. So if any point of time you need to make changes, okay, you can click on I understand to make the changes inside, okay. Okay, so for the detail, it will be showing you the status of this VIF, okay. So whether the status has been live, okay. So as you see over here, the BGP has not been established, okay. Now finally turned green. So okay, so the BGP has been established, okay. And then all the information about this VIF, okay, even including the authentication key as well. Yeah. So let's go to log, okay? So log is useful because you know when you build the VXC and when the BGP session is up. Okay, likewise for the usage, okay, there's no usage now. If not, you can see the service graph for the traffic as well as for the billing, detail, okay? So just let me close it. Okay. So Google has not come live yet, but it's okay. Just let me click on the Google button. Okay, let's shall see. Yep. Okay, since it's not live, but as you can see, there isn't a need for you to configure the interface for the MCR. Okay, all has been populated for you. That includes the peering IP, same ASN, local ASN. Okay, so let's go to detail. And again, just so nice that the BGP session is already up as for now. Okay, you can see the green icon. Let's go to the log. Okay, so the VXC and the BGP was up at the same time. No usage as for now yet. Billing, and then I will just close. Okay. Oh no, let me just refresh it again. Okay, so as you can see on my demo, I have managed to deploy my MCR and the two connections to the cloud, within a 30 minutes time frame. Okay, one last thing that I would like to show you is that we have this MCR looking glass. This is to provide you information on the traffic routing, okay? So it'll show you the route table, the BGP table, your neighbor routes as well. Okay, it will show you what MCR has advertised and received, on the router. Okay, so let me just go back to my service. Yeah, so that's the end for my demo. And then I hope you have enjoyed the demo and appreciate, what MCR can do. Okay, so I just want to check if there's any questions on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Serena. Just one question. How does the MCR support HA?
Hello, Mark. Is there any question? If not, I have one question.
Yeah, just one question. Can you hear me okay?
Hello? Oh, sorry. I just hold on. Let me see. I can't hear. Yeah, hi. Yeah, sorry. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, how does the MCR support HA?
Okay, so basically, in order to configure HA, you can just create another MCR to do HA.
Cool. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I think I have one question that I saw on the ground as well. So they're asking that, can we change the bandwidth of the MCR? So, okay, so once the MCR has been provisioned, right? There's no way for you to change the throughput, the bandwidth, yeah? So what you need to do is that you need to rebuild the MCR. Yep. Yep. So, Mark, is there any more question?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining the session with me, and I'll leave it to Christine.
Yes, thank you, Serena. You did a great job. And thanks everyone else for joining. You all have a great day.
Thank you. See you.